Welcome back to Your Purpose and Business TV. It is time to talk tech. There is so much going on in the industry of tech, and fortunately, my co host is also our tech expert. And Laticia, we keep hearing about all these layoffs going on in the tech industry, which I know causes lots of concerns for those working in tech and those who have been wanting to break into the field. What are your thoughts about the change in industry?
Well, Raquel, when I think about the tech industry, the first thing that comes to mind is innovation. And at its core, innovation is the introduction of something new. So having things constantly changing in the tech industry is totally normal and nothing to be afraid of. In fact, it should excite us. We should lean into the uncertainty of change because it can inspire us to do things we never thought of before.
That is so true. Innovation is key. And so, what advice do you have for those in the industry or those wanting to get into the industry?
I would say do your research, keep abreast of the current gaps in the workforce, find out where the industry is headed, and how you can get educated on those skills that are now in demand.
School is never out for the pro, as my mentor always say, right? And so
Yes.
during the pandemic, we saw tech companies going on a hiring spree, and now many of those hires are being cut, unfortunately. So how do you go about doing things and ensuring job security in this space?
Well, if the demand in one sector has dwindled, then it stands to reason that it has increased in another sector. So you need to find out how you can use your current skills in different industries or sectors where there is a need. And just don't get boxed in into one way of thinking, one way of being, one way of living or working. And don't stay stagnant because you'll get left behind if you do that.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. So now let's say a great employee is not offered to stay with a company because of a gap in skills, right? Is it possible that they could offer a succession plan or something of that sort? And if not, what advice do you have on how they can go about making new opportunities for themselves?
Well, both the employer and the employee should know what the skills gap are at their company. For the employee, talk to upper management. Know where the company's business objectives are, what new skills or technology they may need to learn in order to move into that direction and increase their employability. And for the employer, I would say instead of letting that well-rounded person go, that employee that has such great qualities in other areas, you don't want to let them go just because of a skills gap. Have proper workforce planning in place so you can be strategic about succession planning. Everyone should be training the person under them to take their job. Then that'll open the way for everyone to move up the ranks and close the skills gap, which will in turn help the company to meet its objectives and to be successful. And of course, you're going to have employees that are happy, productive, and thriving.
I love that, and your point of view is like the saying, each one teaches one, right?
Exactly.
So, what skills do you recommend, Leticia, to learn in the tech space, and what do you think is the next big thing?
Well, I would say learn skills are going to make you more well-rounded, or, as the technology changes, you might need to develop new skills. For example, cloud computing. Most of our data is in the cloud these days. So from time to time, you might hear of data breaches or data leaks. So perhaps you can learn more about cloud computing security or cybersecurity risk management.
Okay. And I'm curious about this next question. What are your thoughts around AI, artificial intelligence? Because some people are concerned about it, like Chat GPT, and that will, make other people's jobs redundant and maybe even increase competition.
I think it's exciting, but I would say instead of allowing that very real possibility of, losing your job to paralyze you, learn more about this new technology, the new AI technology, find ways to use it to benefit yourself. Maybe you could even find a way to start a side hustle with it, go create a new stream of income, help support yourself with ChatGPT, or you could just even make yourself better at your job, at your current job.
I love it, like the leaning into these artificial intelligence instead of humans, right? I love that. Thank you, Leticia. I love all this information, and have enjoyed this conversation with you. And as always, before we wrap up, Leticia, how can we connect with you and work with you?
Well, you can go to leticiabrice.com to find ways that we can work together, and you'll also find a link there that you can book a brief call with me so that I can assess your needs and advise you on next steps.
Thank you for the value you always bring to the show, Leticia, and to all our guests.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Be sure to set your DVR and pull up with us next week as we bring you everything from tech and business to strategies and systems to help you elevate your journey of entrepreneurship.
And keep up with us at yourpurposeandbusiness.com. We'll see you next week.